This Lions team, you really try to find the holes on it offensively and defensively, and it's hard. Just looking at their depth chart, obviously Jared Goff is a really good processor. He's really become an advanced guy in this offense. Knows it like the back of his hand. He's a good operator. Distributes the ball to the playmakers. They got a 1-2 punch in the backfield at running back. David Montgomery is kind of the anvil in there, the guy that you want to hammer in between the tackles and get those tough yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, great pass catcher, and certainly an explosive guy. Go back to that playoff game, Matt. It was a close game heading into the fourth quarter, 17-17. That 31-yard touchdown run kind of broke things open. He's an explosive, speedy back. The Bucs loved him coming out of the draft. He was one of the players that they had in for a top 30 visit. But it's as capable of 1-2 punch as you'll find anywhere in the league. And then a receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, we know that he has been an absolute butt killer, averaging, I think, 10 catches a game or some ridiculous stat like that. Jamison Williams was the big-time playmaker in week 1, while Amon-Ra St. Brown had a little bit more of a quiet game.
Yeah.
But Williams certainly was that explosive guy down the field. We've seen what he's able to do, catching that touchdown pass on Ryan Neal back in week 6. And then Sam Laporta, the tight end. He is an up-and-comer. I think very soon, if he's not already, he's going to be in that Kittle, Kelsey conversation. He's a very good athlete.
Yeah, and that's where it comes down to a lot of the different matchups that we didn't see as much last year. For example, I mean, St. Brown can line up anywhere, but he does a lot of damage in the slot. And if you recall, especially that first game in Tampa when the Bucs wore the creamsicle jerseys, a big narrative of that game was Ryan Neal was a second too late, and Amon-Ra St. Brown and some of the other guys, not even St. Brown, but just the Lions receivers in general, were able to make big plays. Well, this time around, you have Jordan Whitehead back there kind of in the Ryan Neal role, which hopefully should help out a little bit. And while Christian Izien isn't Antoine Winfield Jr., Izien's got the hustle where if there's certain plays where it was a split second and Ryan Neal was defeated on it, I'm willing to bet Christian Izien would be the guy there in that situation. And then for St. Brown specifically, while Izien was the guy in the slot last year, now you have Tyke Smith, who, obviously he's a rookie going into his second game, but I think we all feel more confident with Tyke Smith as a nickel corner and starting there for the Bucs than necessarily Izien against Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then the last thing as well is kind of platooning that linebacker situation with KJ Britt on first and second down. Maybe it's a lot of Servassier Dennis against Hawkinson.
I think so.
Laporta. Got Iowa on the mind. Against Laporta in this matchup against Detroit. I mean, there's going to be no easy way for the Buccaneers defense, even with a fully healthy group.
Exactly.
But I think they have a little bit of different looks and matchups, even from a season ago, that may be able to help them in Sunday's contest.
You're reading my mind, Matt. I really believe this is a game where we might see more Servassier Dennis as opposed to KJ Britt. Now, KJ actually had a pretty good game up there against the Lions. I think he had 8 tackles in the first quarter when the Lions were running the ball a little bit more, or at least trying to. But Servassier Dennis can do much more in terms of his pass coverage and also as a blitzer. We saw that sack against Jaden Daniels, his first NFL sack. Just a better athlete, faster, more agile type of defender. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if Servassier Dennis kind of flips the script a little bit, where you had KJ getting almost 2-to-1 reps over Servassier. That might be closer to 50-50 now. We'll see. The interesting thing too, Matt, is the position versatility and the cross training, right? Tyke Smith can play nickel. He can also play safety. You've got Jordan Whitehead who can play cover 3, the high single safety or cover 1, but he's mostly a box safety, but he has the position flexibility to do that. Christian Izien, more of probably a free safety type, but Tavierre Thomas can play nickel or safety. So there's a couple of guys, if Bowles wants to give Jared Goff some looks, he might flip Izien and Tyke Smith and have Tyke play safety on a play and Izien play in the slot. So at least there's some options. This is not going to be a static defense where he's going to trot out 11 guys and say, Jared, this is who you're facing. We're going to see Servassier and KJ. We're going to see Tyke and Izien and maybe in some different spots. So I like the positional flexibility of some of these guys in the defensive backfield. And also, too, Logan Hall can provide some pass rush on the inside. He's no Kalijah Cansey, but you might see a situation where, and this is kind of the package I'm screaming for, JTS on the inside as a nickel rusher, Chris Braswell, and Yaya Diaby on the outside. I'd like to see that along with Vita Vea on the inside to really give the Lions offensive line some speed and some power inside to have to deal with.